we are making mistakes in this. I'm talking about that society which has migrated from the east to the west by not understanding the message of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are following an entirely different course from what he advised. He advised us that you can trust their vision as far as material world goes. You can copy their pursuits, because there is no harm in studying the nature of Allah. It was the creation of Allah, not their own creation. Their vision is correct. This verdict has been given by Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. By that, the Holy Prophet meant that inasmuch as their sciences are concerned, their study of nature is concerned, you should not only follow them, you should try to excel them. No harm in that. Because they are not the creator, it's the creation of Allah which they have rightly understood. But in all the other values, you must completely abandon them and not follow their path. What I see here is quite a different pattern altogether. In fact, it's the converse of this. Most of the Asians who come over to these countries, they don't follow them in their goodnesses, but they follow them in their wrongs. They lose their way of life, they lose their moral values, they lose their religion, they lose all that is good in them, and start following the Western pattern of a rotten society. While they were forewarned by Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam 14 centuries ago, how clear was his vision? How beautiful the message. Here they are wrong. Don't just condemn them roundly and revolt against all that is Western. This is what is said in this message. Choose the right thing from the wrong. And I give you the criterion, unfailing criterion, which would never lead you to a wrong decision. That on the right things, they're always wrong. On the left things, they're always right. Follow them materialistically. Learn from them and try to excel them, no harm. But whenever the moral values, religious values, ethical values are concerned, it would be poison for you if you follow them. You would be eating poison. Now this is exactly what the people are doing from the East. This is why Ahmadis are expected not only to warn the West but also the Eastern people who come over here and indulge in these blunders. And this is what the Ahmadis are not doing, in fact. This is why I have opened up this whole, I have prepared the ground for you to see where you are missing the values which are expected of you. Most unfortunate. In fact, you came here to the West not only in your personal capacities, but in the capacity, much more so, in the capacity of ambassadors of Islam and the representatives of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you don't understand his religion, if you don't follow his path, and you don't exhibit the way of life through your own personal example, how can you be dubbed, how can you be named the ambassadors of Islam and the representatives of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You're so dormant to these things, in fact, in some respects, that it deeply hurts me to notice that in many respects we are losing ground to the West rather than gaining ground. As far as our rate of preaching is concerned, that is almost zero in Scotland. I made thorough inquiry here about how many Ahmadis today are present here who belong to this soil, so that for their sake I should address myself address you in English. And I was told just one lady, and that is 50% of all we will achieve here. Because there is one gentleman left out, who is missing unfortunately. So 50% of our local Ahmadis are here, and that is wrong. This is shame. This is a point for us to ponder and reflect. What have we been doing here? All of you, youths and old and young and old and ladies and gentlemen who came from Pakistan or some other countries to seek employment here or to do business, that was not the fundamental thing in you. The most overriding thing in an Ahmadi should be the message of Islam. Don't leave it to the missionaries. They simply cannot do it alone. It is you who are going to take up the cudgel, otherwise Islam will remain in this defeated state as you find it today. Read the early history of Islam and you will come to know that in fact it was not a clergy, because there was no such thing as clergy in Islam, which brought about the great revolution over the world. Who converted China? Go into the history of Islam and then you will find out not a single missionary was sent to China. I mean those 4 provinces of China which are predominantly Muslims. The 4 big provinces who have become almost entirely Muslim, and not a single preacher was sent to them by any Muslim ruler. Just statesmen, those who sought employment, as you have sought employment today, they went to China. Who converted Indonesia? Ponder over this question. Neither a soul nor such missionaries as you find today. There was no such system in fact. Just ordinary tradesmen went there and started preaching, and they were responsible people. Good. Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who didn't leave anything unexplained. Explained at length what he meant by the Dajjal. He explained at length where he is mentioned in the Holy Quran. He explained the philosophy of the institution of the Dajjal. He explained where he should be followed and where he should be avoided, and where he should be opposed and where he should be aided. So everything has been made manifest by Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But unfortunately we are not paying attention to his words, and this is what I am repeatedly trying to draw your attention to. Allah bless you, may Allah help you, but I assure you that it is for the sake of Allah. You make this decision today, that from now on you are going to lead a life of a missionary. If you make this decision today, that for Allah's sake, you will devote all your energies towards converting this country into Islam, then you will see the great changes appear. All around you, people will begin to get converted. But that can only be done if you also remain humble, if you also continuously pray to Allah, seek His help, accept your being nothing. Admit that you have no power on earth whatsoever. And then turn to your Lord repeatedly with tears and with aching hearts. Oh Allah, I have taken the responsibility of converting these people. I who am a non-entity, who are nothing, who have neither knowledge, nor wealth, nor strength enough. How can I do it? But oh Lord, I have done it for your sake. I believe in your mercy. I believe in your succor and aid. You come to my aid because I have whatever I am. However humble I be, I have come to your aid. So all that I expect of you is to come to my aid for this noble goal which I am pursuing for my love for you, for my love for Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if I am offering myself to your task, why shouldn't you come to help me? If you pray to Allah with such pain and such aching hearts, it's impossible for Him not to accept it. Then you will see the changes occurring all around you. Then you will see the fate of this country changing gradually, and light adding to the darkness, light appearing in the darkness and dispelling darkness all around. May Allah bless you. May Allah help you. First make this sincere resolution, then to act upon it. Then may Allah help you to follow this noble goal perseverantly, not with temporary emotions, We don't want Ahmadis' temporary emotions. This is a long task. We may have to devote a generation after generation our energies towards achievements of this goal. So we don't want people who are tired. Allah in the Holy Quran tells us that there are angels who never tire in praising Allah. So are the followers of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They tirelessly follow the goal which has been set to them by the holy founder of Islam. This is your station in life. This is your status in the eyes of Allah. So rise to it. Why do you sing to the ordinary low level of ordinary Asians who come here, lose their values, acquire complexes, and get lost themselves? You are different. Why don't you realize it? This is what hurts me most. Not only the fate of the people around, but when I see Ahmadis behaving like ordinary people, while they are not ordinary people, then it hurts me most. Then I turn to Allah, oh Allah, what is the use of my coming here if I can't turn Ahmadis back to your message? If I can't make them realize where they belong to? What is the use in my going through the streets of London and Glasgow and Frankfurt and Hamburg? Because then I would be just an ordinary person doing the same thing as so hundreds and millions of visitors do. I've not come here for that purpose. And I have no power over the hearts of Ahmadis. It's you alone who have that power. You help me. So as I am humble in my approach and I only seek Allah's help, you should also be humble in your approach and seek Allah's help for your sake, for the sake of your generations, for the sake of mankind suffering around you. Then you will see the great signs appearing, great changes appearing, inshallah. And a new Jamaat will be born here in these countries. Out of your bodies, new souls will emerge. And that is the message of Ahmadiyya which I deliver to you, and trust to Allah that it will carry weight, inshallah.